And for all the listeners out there, I have a personal example of all that he's talking about. All that. Yeah, I went through it with the vice president, the current president, Stephen Hill. He's right. Griff is right. They follow you. BET follow me. They knew what I was doing. But sometimes you ain't always invited. Sometimes you force your way in when you start making things that call the change. So once I put out an Eve and she blows up and Dipset gets big and I'm pushing Rockefeller and they're blowing, the president's watching what you're doing. So and Griff is right. Your initiation is always different. Mine was he took me out 3 times, hang out in the club. Last night we out in a white stretch limo. You understand? They try to impress you. They had me around Derek Jeter and all these actresses and all that beautiful, good stuff. And at the end of the night, the president's sitting there with his legs cocked open looking at me like, baby, what's up? Dig?
Wow.
So, oh, it's all in the, Griff, my book, BET, Brad, and me will be out. I'm going to see you in February. I'm going to hit Atlanta. And we're going to get busy. And so, yes, Griff is definitely the prophet who he is. And listen, people, he's right. Check. And Ice is good job. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, brother.
He bragged. You know, that's the brother that dropped it on me or told it all, man, in an interview about BET.
Wow.
Told it all. And the reason why I really appreciate that, brother, is because when he said it in his interview, it came by everything I was saying, and then people said, okay, well, I might believe it. I said, this dude's on the inside. You understand what I'm saying? What that BET?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, and then when Black Dot from the Boogie Down Bronx dropped his thing, Hip Hop Decoded, his book, in his 6-hour lecture, then that further proved it. You understand what I'm saying? And then now we're seeing hundreds of people on YouTube dropping different things. Are you following me?
Right.
A beautiful thing.
Well,
at least I know I'm not alone.
Right. I got another question for you. Area code 3007. You're on the air. Do you have a question for Professor Griff?
Yeah, I do. Thanks, Isis, and thank you, Griff, for doing the show. My question, you brought up John Todd earlier, and he was one of the people who says all music artists are magicians, or you don't get to be artists. So I wanted to know is, are people like Rihanna and Beyonce, are they actual witches and warlocks, or are they just channeling? Like,
no, I think Beyonce is actual witch. Now, let's not think of witch from the movie or the TV show. Not witch is like you would think of witch. Not the evil, kind of dark-looking, yada, yada, yada. You know, witches are very enlightened people. Are you following me? So I think Beyonce is a witch. I think certain things were channeled through her until this demonic possession. She took control on how to control this demonic possession. I think Rihanna is being channeled. This stuff is being channeled through her, and she's a willing host. She's not resisting at all. I think a few other people want to be controlled in that kind of way. Since this thing went down with Rihanna, let's look at a few things that she's done. She's posed half naked on the cover of a couple of magazines that you can see on the stand right now. She's covering up one eye, which represents the 666 or the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. There's a lot of things that she's doing to send a signal back to her handlers that everything is A-OK. I'm part of the team. Are you following me? So yes, this demonic possession is real, and some of the artists are not resisting at all. Some of the stuff is being channeled through some of them, and some of them have actually grown to the point where they become witches themselves. Yes, sir.
Thank you for calling, caller. I appreciate it. Now, Griff, I want to ask you something. Do you think, and this is just very candid, do you think Biggie was Diddy's sacrifice? Because I noticed how he blew up. I was thinking about all the people who died, you know what I'm saying, after, and then the people that were around them, certain individuals that were, let's say, in control of their careers, blew up tremendously right afterwards. I was just wondering, I want to get your...
Yeah, well, let's not look at it like you have to sacrifice for someone for you to blow up, so to speak. Because if we look outside of hip-hop, you know, Bill Cosby wanted to buy one of the networks.
Right.
And, you know, his father died mysteriously. So mysterious that Michael Jordan's father, Bill Cosby's son.
Yeah. I remember that.
And then Michael Jordan's father died almost the same exact way in a car on the side of the road somewhere, right or wrong.
Right.
Now, is that a coincidence? Is Griff reaching or what? Someone called me the other day and said Tyler Perry's mom died. Does that have anything to do with him being in the position that he's in? Well, we don't know. We haven't done the research on that yet. But they're not going to let you come in there, Tyler Perry, whoever he or she is really. He admitted that he had a hard time being Tyler Perry. He's more comfortable being Medea. And I explained earlier who Medea is, who the Medes are, right or wrong. They practice black and white magic. Are you following me?
Right.
So we have to understand, they're not going to let you be in that space, Tyler Perry. You're going to have to sacrifice somebody. Are you following me? So we have to understand that. So outside of music, outside of hip-hop, there's a lot of people that I think was sacrificed. I mean, if you really look at it, you know, outside of hip-hop, I spoke about Jennifer Hudson. On how when we did the research on how her family was murdered, that was rich for killings.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was the only journalist actually allowed to interview Julian King's father. He wouldn't talk to nobody. He wouldn't talk to Chicago Tribune. He wouldn't talk to anybody. But I actually got that exclusive interview with him last year when all that stuff went down. And I kept thinking just the way that went down, I just started doing the mathematics on the whole thing. And I was like, man, something ain't right with that.
Well, my thing is, you know, these tragic deaths of artists, be they sports artists or sports players rather, or R&B artists or hip-hop artists, we really have to take a close look into these things. Are you following me? You know, if you study what Myron Fagan put down years ago on how the Illuminati operates, you know, they control teachers and preachers and pastors and reverends. They control the teachers and professors on college campuses, the presidents and this kind of thing, and especially there in politics. And the thing is with them, you know, they need to get something bad on you to hold over your head. And if you don't play ball, no, listen. If people that are listening to me think I'm making this up, right now if you're sitting in front of your computer, go in the left-hand corner and open up a new window and go into your search engine and look up a movie called Brotherhood of the Bell. Brotherhood of the Bell. Watch that movie. It's a black and white movie. I think some aspects of it is color. But watch that movie. It's the whole story of the Illuminati and how they work. And then call Professor Griff and you let me know what you think about the movie. 678-557-2919. Brotherhood of the Bell.
Someone asked in the chat room, he said, are you saying that Michael Jackson's death was a ritual?
Michael Jackson, listen, Michael Jackson's last part of his whole entire life, Michael Jackson refused to be a part of it. That's one beautiful thing about Michael Jackson. I have issues with him wanting to be white and all that kind of stuff, but if you really listen to Michael Jackson and what he was saying in his songs and some of the speeches that he gave, Michael Jackson was actually fighting them. If you really listen, they wanted him to go through the homosexual ritual with the children by putting the children among him, but he refused to do it. And because he refused to do it and become part of their plan, they came against him. And then that's when they started calling him gay, Jacko, all this kind of stuff, because they knew that he controlled the Beatles material and some of the other country artists' material. Are you following me? Elvis's material and some of the other people's publishing. But you got to understand, they sought out to destroy him, and they did kill him. I'm going to say that again in English. They killed Michael Jackson. Plain and simple. I don't care how weird you think the brother was. I don't care whether you took issue with him trying to be white or whatever else. You know, goddamn well, them blue-eyed, white damn baby, blonde-head, blue-eyed babies is not Michael Jackson's. Are you following me?
Right.
They was trying to bring Michael Jackson through a ritual that he refused to take part in. Him and Prince had hooked up, was collaborating on some things. Guess what the Illuminati said? No, no, no. You gentlemen cannot be seen together. You cannot do concerts together. You cannot do X, Y, and Z together. Guess what else they told Michael Jackson that? They told Michael Jackson that about his sister Janet.